Growing up, I was always interested in the mental game. After years of study, I developed the Basketball Brain program. My life is devoted to helping others achieve their greatness. I hope you'll like, subscribe, and if you take a chance with the Basketball Brain program, I promise you your game's going to reach levels that you never thought possible.
What's up, Basketball Brain fans and members? How's it going? Dylan here. Listen, this is something I noticed, and I always have to remind people why it's important to work hard. Now, working hard has a few benefits. Number one, you get good, okay? So that's really important. You get good at what you're doing by working hard. You're putting in a lot of reps, right? Number two, you become more clutch, and you hit game winners. Very important for your career, for your confidence to come through when it matters. Number three, you have more endurance than most other people on the court. Or if you're meeting somebody who also works hard, you can stay with them, you can compete with them, and you're not going to run out of energy. Why else do we work hard? We work hard because when we're in a workout, it's a psychological test to go that extra distance. That's why we work out too, right? We learn how to fight through fatigue. We learn how to fight through challenges. That's very important. Another reason, we start to understand that if we miss some shots when we're practicing, we're getting a lot of reps up, we start to develop confidence that we will get our groove back, okay? Kobe said to Dwight Howard when he was with the Lakers, "You know why I shoot so much, Dwight? You know why I get so many reps up? It's because misses start to mean less to me. I've shot so many times, the misses don't mean as much. They're just something that happens, and I'm over them." And if we've watched Kobe, we know that's true. We also work hard because it helps us avoid shooting slumps. It helps us avoid poor play. Consistent hard work leads to consistent gameplay. People always talk to me, how can I be consistent game in and game out? And I always tell them, be consistent day in and day out, whether you have a game or not. Hard work makes us more consistent. Hard work also helps us get respect from coaches, teammates, opponents, fans, and that's important. Hard work will gain respect. Hard work will be noticed eventually. And hard work is going to separate you from the pack. It's going to separate you from the guys on your team competing for the same spot. It's going to separate you from guys on other teams competing for all-star spots. And it's going to separate you, if you work hard enough, from the other all-stars. It's going to help make you maybe the MVP. Hard work makes winning feel better. You don't feel lucky. Some guys win. Yeah, sure, they'll win a few games. Maybe they'll even get by on talent and win a championship, but they can't feel as good about it. They can't feel as good about it because it just was off talent. It was something they were more or less born with, and maybe they were big and could just dunk all over the place, drop, step, and dunk, and it doesn't feel as good. When you work hard, the rewards taste sweeter. And the last thing I'm going to say, I could go on about this forever, but this idea, this was the only idea I was going to talk about when I started this video. What I'm going to tell you right now was the idea I had when I started. And when I began talking, I was like, well, why don't I just talk about all the benefits of hard work? And I thought I was just going to list 4 or 5 and then get to this one, but I listed a few more. But this benefit of hard work is, in my opinion, one of the most awesome. And it really you'll start to notice it more in crunch time and when the pressure's on. And some of you guys know this. When I tell you this, you're going to know what I'm talking about because it's happened to you because you've put in so many reps. And it's this. The more hard work you do, at the end of the game, when the pressure's on, the ball can come off of your hand weird. It can come off of your hand wrong. You can make a pass that feels a little weird, and it still works out. The ball still goes in. The pass still gets there. And it feels sort of magical. It leaves your hand, and it feels like, oh my God, that's not going to go in. And then all of a sudden it goes in. And you wonder how that happens. Well, I'll tell you what's happening. Okay, so if you don't practice a lot, right? Let's take a shot, for instance. You're shooting, and you're flicking your wrist, and you don't practice too much. When you miss, if you were to track those misses, they're a wide range. They're 12 inches off here. They're 8 inches off there. They're short 5 inches, they're long, 7 inches, right? Well, the more you practice, if you could actually track where the ball's hitting, the distribution range of the misses gets smaller. So instead of missing by, let's just keep it simple and say 12 inches, left, right, you're missing by a foot, left, right, too hard or too soft. Now your misses are 3 to 4 inches. You're barely missing. If you don't practice and the ball comes off your hand weird, it basically has no chance of going in. I mean, 1 out of 100. Not great. When the ball comes off your hand weird and you've done a lot of practice, you have a very good chance of the ball still going in. And just to get a little bit more detailed on this, when you don't practice and your wrist does something weird or you're off balance, it's way off balance and your wrist just doesn't come off your hand right or whatever, it's way off. Now, when you've practiced a lot and you've got that groove and you know exactly what a good shot feels like, and then you shoot a shot that comes off your hand wrong, it may feel wild. It may feel like it was way off. But you've practiced so much, your body doesn't go way off anymore. Your way off now is just a little bit off. Again, it feels way off because you're so used to the precision from all the reps you've put in. But then you might go back and watch the highlights and you'll see that, oh, it wasn't that far off. It felt like it, but when you watch the film, you can barely notice it. So your body's so in tune with this perfect shot or this near perfect shot that when it's slightly off, it feels way off, but it's not. So your body's not that far off and the ball's going at the rim and it's not that far off. And hard work, it seems magical, but you can actually start to break it down and you'll see where it's not so magical, that it kind of makes sense. So that's what I was thinking about today because I was playing in a pickup game and I hit a bunch of shots at the end of games and they were coming off my hand wrong and still going in. And I've been shooting a little bit more recently, and I noticed that as I started shooting a little bit more, practicing a little bit more, that feeling of the ball coming off my hand wrong and still going in crunch time came back. And it made me think of that. I thought, I got to tell these guys that. And I'm sure a lot of you guys out there know what I'm talking about. In sum, hard work, I guess, makes you lucky. Now, everybody says the harder I work, the luckier I get. Well, I think there is something mysterious about that too. There are mysterious things that happen when you work really hard, but there are also so-called mysterious things that happen when you work really hard that probably have a pretty decent explanation. For instance, you're not missing by as much as you normally would had you not practiced. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out basketballbrain.com. I got a new mini program going on the site called the X Factor program. I think you guys will really enjoy it. I'm going to put a part 1 of it up on YouTube, and then part 2 you can buy on the website. It's going to show you how to get the X Factor. Everybody talks about the X Factor, some mysterious thing. It's not that mysterious. I'm going to break it down for you in one of the next few videos.